Alongside Frankie Corrado. Frankie, the Habs and Sens rematch is right here on TSN on Saturday night. The Habs could be looking for a measure of revenge. These are not your normal lineups. There are a lot of players out there trying to make a name for themselves. Is there the potential for some serious fireworks on Saturday?
Yeah, of course, Gino. Tune in. It's on TSN. Everyone should watch. How's that for a promo? It's going to be the craziest game ever. Okay, seriously. One thing is for certain. After this preseason, I would imagine both of these teams don't want to see each other in the preseason anymore because it's getting pretty crazy what's going on now, going back to last year and this year. And there's a few different scenarios at play here. You got some guys that are trying to make the team, and the guys that are trying to make the team have to play a certain way and fill a certain role in order to do so. And that requires sometimes games getting a little bit messy. So if those types of players are in the lineup, absolutely, it's going to be crazy again. The other thing that's at play is, if there's some players that maybe want some retribution in the lineup. And yeah, you could say going into a game that we're gonna get through this thing. It's the last one before the preseason ends and the regular season starts. But sometimes guys' wires just cross, and a slash turns into a cross check, turns into a hit, turns into a melee, and next thing you know, it's craziness again. So I'm sure both coaches would like to get through this thing unscathed. Like, keep in mind, Nick Suzuki hasn't played a game since last Thursday, so you can't keep him out of another preseason game because that would be almost 2 weeks between games for him. So they have to have some of their star players playing. They probably are going to have some of the guys that are more inclined to get into the rough stuff. I think for both these teams, it definitely has the potential to get crazy, but everyone just wants to get to the regular season and be healthy when the season starts.
Speaking of players trying to make an impression with the rough stuff, how about Arbor Jack Guy's little brother Florian? He's been making some noise in the preseason. He spent all last season in the minors. Any chance he cracks the Habs roster on opening day?
It might be tough for him to crack the Habs roster for opening night because there's a lot of bodies there. But I'll say this. He's going to finish the year with the Habs. He is so different than what they have up front. And, he represents a player that is a little bit of a throwback, the kind of guy, Gino, that you talk about and you say, they just don't build him that way anymore. He fights, he hits, he's big, he drives the net, he can score goals. He had 24 goals last year as a rookie in Laval. He does everything with like a playoff type compete level. And the game that you watch with Florian and Arbor in the lineup together, you start to notice something. A little bit of a pack mentality starts to build, and all of a sudden Jaden Strubal's throwing punches, and guys are getting in the middle of things that maybe, if no one's dragging you into it, you might not get into it. So it might be a crowded, roster at the start of the season, but at some point, Florian Xhekaj is going to work his way into this Montreal Canadiens roster, and I think Marty St. Louis is going to be really happy to have him. That is the type of guy that helps your team put up a fight against teams like Florida that want to scrum it up after every whistle and scratch and claw. You might have an answer for that with a little more of a pack mentality, and Florian Xhekaj certainly represents that.
And Frankie, as you pointed out so eloquently right off the top, we can watch it all unfold right here. It's the Sens and the Habs Saturday night, both on TSN 2 and on TSN 5.